Obviously, Kristaps only able to go like 13, 14, 15 minutes there yesterday. Was that continued fatigue with him, and how is you managing that right now?
I mean, he's doing. To me, I thought those minutes were really impactful for us, and he gave us everything he has. And with these 2 days off, hopefully he can recover a little bit more. But he's going to continue to just give us everything he has, and every game will be situationally, depending upon how much he can go. But just grateful for what he was able to do for us last game.
I know you said you weren't expecting that to happen in game one. How concerning is this for you guys? I know I saw Tony kind of go up to him and give him a hug there, and a lot of you guys are kind of trying to, I guess, just encourage him right now. Like, are you guys concerned for him? Like, what kind of is the situation with him right now?
It's not so much concerning. I think it's just having an understanding of there's a competitor that loves to compete at a high level, and he's not feeling at his best, and he's putting himself out there for us. So you have to be able to just acknowledge that. So it's not as concerning as much as understanding of what he's trying to do in order for us, to give us a chance.
Joe, you guys are shooting well below season average from nearly everywhere on the floor. So at this point, rather than leaning on shooting variance to swing back in your favor, does it become even more important to lean on the margins and on defense and hang your hat on that stuff rather than shooting variance?
We did that. We shot more free throws and we got 10 more shots than they did, and we shot 10 more layups than they did last game, and then we got 16 offensive rebounds, I think, to their 12, and then 25 points off turnover. So we leaned into the margins. To me, when you're not executing the way you need to on the offensive end, it puts more pressure on the situational stuff that you have to get better at. The open threes to Hart in the corner, the transition threes to Bridges, the transition basket that McBride gets, the transition basket that Brunson gets. All those situational things become even more magnified when you're not able to execute the way that you may usually do on the offensive end. And so we have to be much better at those things. But, we've won the margins in both games. We just have to win the game.
Joe, it felt like you guys used Jayson a little bit different at times yesterday. I know Jalen was finding a lot of success in the post, and Derek's pick and rolls were working really well. But was there anything past that went into that, like using him more as a screener? Was it just trying to get him different looks? I know he was cutting off the ball a little bit more too. Like, was there anything extra that went into that after the shooting struggles he had in game one?
Last night? We got great stuff out of him screening. They didn't want to leave his body, and D. White was able to get downhill and make some reads. We're able to get out of that. I think he's always, his versatility, as whether it's being a pick and roll ball handler, whether it's being a pick and roll screener, that's been able to change some of the play call frequency that we have. And so we're just going to try to find ways to take advantage of that. They changed their coverages a little bit from game one to game two, and we just need to keep, making those reads.
You had an exchange the other day at your press conference, kind of being like, yeah, it would be cool if we just made shots. There was a lot of talk anyway about how you maybe took too many threes. Like, when there's talk like that internally, are you kind of doubling down, like, we're getting good shots, we need to stick to this? Like, how does that work for you guys?
Yeah, again, it's twofold, right? I think we watch the possessions of, like, it's never about, it's about looking at the shot quality one, but then it's about, like, the possession of the game. Like, did we execute? Did we do what we were supposed to do? Did we read the coverage? Did we get the right spacing? Did we have the right matchup? Did we get the shot that we think is best at that particular time? So I think through your process of how you coach your offense, you're constantly adjusting that. But again, from the standpoint of getting the result you want, winning or losing, when you're not doing those things at the level that you should, it puts more pressure on your situational stuff that we have to be better at, right? Some of the late game rebounds, some of the threes that we gave up to their personnel who's good at shooting, that stuff gets magnified. The 4 or 5 transition baskets that you give up, whether it's because of the 11 live ball turnovers that we had, all that stuff gets magnified, and is so important when you're not doing the things that you're normally doing from an execution standpoint on the offensive end. And so we have to fix both. Like, we got to be better at that, and then we have to be better situationally at taking those things away.
And then you fouled Mitchell Robinson, seemed to get him out of the game. What has he been doing to kind of muck you guys up a little bit? How has he made such an impact on this series?
Yeah, he's good on both ends of the floor, right? He's able to play by himself. He's able to play double big with Towns on the defensive end, and his ability to protect the rim, his ability to get extra possessions, and then I think his screening. He's able to get Bridges some open looks last night with his ability to screen. So, he's a huge factor to what they do, and we got to find ways to negate that.
Joe, mentally, what's the issue in terms of when you're up 20 Like both, it seems like you guys are looking behind. You guys are just looking for them to catch you. You guys are, there's hesitation. It seems there's just there's kind of a uh-oh moment when you guys are up. Mentally, what's going on? Because obviously the game's as mental as, I mean, you stress that. What's going on mentally with this team when it gets a 20-point lead, and why are you guys not playing in the flow, instead just looking behind and waiting for them to catch you?
Yeah, I think anytime you blow 20-point leads, you can always go to a bunch of things as to why that happens within a game, right? And I think it's, there's so many factors that go into it. And each game was different. I thought in last night's game, you start the second quarter. To me, even take it a step further, like when you're playing in the playoffs, the possessions are so important. Like the bonus foul that we had when it was 46-30 is just as impactful of getting it from 16-9, ending the first half. But then again, we got it to 20 then, right? So just those type of plays are what give teams life, whether it's malicious from the standpoint of like, did we have good intentions and not execute, or did we have poor intentions? And I think more along the lines of game two, we had good intentions, we just didn't execute. And that puts pressure on the times of, where we gave up the transition and stuff there. But like you go up 20 and we have a transition live ball, we have a transition turnover, we have a tip dunk that we don't get, and then we miss 2 open looks. So we just got to be better at executing in those situations when we're in that moment, have an understanding that we're playing against a great team and they're obviously going to make their runs. We need to manage those with proper execution, proper situational defense throughout the entire game.
And is there a part of you, Joe, you're down to, you'd rather be up 2-0, of course, but is there a part of you that relishes the opportunity to turn this series around because of your experiences, what you've been through, your faith, that to turn water into wine, or whatever term you want to use?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not being what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you just can't have an expectation that it's supposed to go the way that you want all the time. And I think there's actually a sense of, you could be very prideful in thinking of like, oh, like who are we that we're not allowed to be down 0-2? And so I think you have to eliminate that pride and have an understanding of this is the way that it is. At the same time, people don't become who they say they want to become unless they transition these moments into greater moments, right? And that may not be this year. It could be just in life itself. But you can't just have a pride and entitlement that we're holier than thou, that we're not allowed to be down 0-2. This is the situation that we're in. So we have to have an understanding of why we're in it, and we got to fix it. And we have an opportunity to fix that. So yeah, I do relish that, because these moments are all forgotten if you transition them into taking advantage of the opportunity that you have. If you don't, then you have to use it as an opportunity for the journey that you're on. But we have to go into Saturday's game and win the game. That's just the way it is. We have to win. We have to win. We have to do what it takes to win, and we have to put ourselves in position to do that. And it's going to be a tall task, but we're ready for it. And there's no better people I'd rather do it with than the guys in the locker room and our staff.
Joe, Jayson took ownership for the way he's played early in the series. Do you have conversations with him when he's going through something like this, or is it kind of understood what kind of player he is?
I mean, it's a credit to him. I don't think that I appreciate the fact that he would do that, but I think it's on everybody. We all can be better. I could be better in the things that I can help our team execute on. Our entire team can be better, and yeah, he can too. So, just says who he is. Taking responsibility for that. And I expect him to be better. There's no doubt in my mind.
Joe, with the move with Allen to the starting 5 instead of KP, was that more health related with KP's own situation, or was it more that just obviously that's been a really good group all year long? So what kind of went into that decision?
I mean, I thought that just gave us the best chance to take advantage of the situation that we're in with trying to make sure KP can play and give us good minutes. At the same time, it's been a good lineup for us. So I think it was just what made the most sense to put each guy in our team in the best position to win.
And on Kristaps, how much more difficult has it made things from a game planning perspective when his availability has kind of fluctuated as much as it has over these last couple of games?
That's not necessarily a game planning thing. I think it's just because of the type of talent that he is and who he is as a player. You'd rather have him, and you feel his absence, because of his versatility and what he's able to do on both ends of the floor. And so, I mean, we have our depth is a strength of what we have. At the same time, to have a guy like him, you want to have him as much as you can. And so, we'll continue to try to do that. And I know he's doing what he can to make sure he's available. Thanks.